In this video, I'll show you how to display flow runs in a model driven app. Now, you might be using Power Automate Flow within your application. Now, sometimes you would like to display the status or the error messages which the flow might have produced based on the execution runs. Now, as an admin, you would like to navigate to a specific app. So, take for example, there is a specific app for a model driven, a specific app for admin to monitor all the operations within your environment. So, for that, you can create a model driven app just for your admin. And within that, you will be able to show the flow runs, like how many flows have run within that environment, how many flow have successfully run, how many flow have run with some errors, and then you can actually see the error messages. Now this is useful when you do not want to give a like an admin level access to like say some individual, and you'd just like to show that in a maybe a form. I've not called this as like a super admin, but then like maybe if you have like a shadow admin within your organization, and if you want to show that flow runs to that admin, you can basically build this app. Now, in order to do that, first we need to understand how we can extract the flow details. Now, this is how the application will look like. Now, as you see over here, these are the list of flows which you have within your organization. Now again, you need to understand the flow, or like say it comes from a specific table in the background, and then it is categorized on basis of a business rule, a modern flow which is like a Power Automate flow, and then you have other type of flows within the system like a classic workflow and those sort of things. Okay, now if you want to just scroll, you can just scroll from here. You will see business flow, business rule, modern flow, and you have actions as well. So as you see over here, these are the list of actions which you have within your environment. We are only focusing on modern flow at the time. So what you can do, like you can build these kind of table with the process name and then the category, and then who created it, and when it was modified, and whether it is in activated or draft state. So you can even get this information. Now there's another table which you can render within the system, which basically shows you the flow runs. Now, say take for example, this is a flow run uh, ID, and then here you will be able to see when the flow was started, when it ended, whether it is succeeded, or is there any error code or error message. Now, as you see over here, we don't have any error code and error message for the top maybe 100 items over here. But if you have error code or error messages, then you can display that value over here as well. Right. So how to generate all these things? Now, if you go into make.powerapps.com, here you will be able to see the table called as flow run. So flow run table basically allows you to see which all flows have run within your system. Now, before we go into that, let me go into Power Platform Admin Center and show you one setting. So in Power Platform Admin Center, if you navigate to environment, and if you go into specific environment settings, here you will see something called as a cloud flow run history in Dataverse. So with cloud flow run history in Dataverse, you can leverage the extensibility of Dataverse to track the results of your cloud flow executions at scale. So you have an option to configure the flow run entity time to live enabled 28 days, 14 days, 7 days, or maybe you can completely disable it as well. When enabled, every new Cloudflow execution will have an entry in the flow run table to store the Cloudflow run metadata. And then you can adjust the duration of how long the execution records are stored depending on your storage capacity need. Now, this is also useful for an admin. It is useful for compliance purposes. So you can keep this enabled. 28 days is the retention period max. Now, if you navigate to flow run table, this flow run table will store all the values if you turn that option on. Now there are other columns over here. So you have a calling product resource ID, calling product run ID, calling product type. Then you have a conversation ID, tracking ID, duration, end time, error code, error message, flow run ID. And there are so many other columns which you can utilize. So there's status, there's time to live, there's resource ID. So you can, and even there's a trigger type and workflow ID as well. So if I just enable all this column, you can see all the values within here. Now you can see which flow has run maximum. So you can just sort by larger to smaller, and you can see that this flow has run for uh, like 10,817 milliseconds. And this is the start time, this is the end time, and you can see this is called as a recurring copilot trigger. So maybe I can investigate that. Or you can also see what type of trigger it is, whether it's a scheduled, whether it is an instance. So you can go by filter by, and you can type in the value. Also you can see which flow has status succeeded and failed. So you can either sort by A to Z or Z to A, and then here you will see all the flow which has been succeeded or which is failed. Now you can see this couple of two flows have failed. And then if you have specific error code and error message you might have generated, you will be able to see all this information over here. Even I can just say click on 40 additional rows, and then I can see the entire flow run for a specific environment, which is over here. And you can also see the workflow ID. So I can error message, I can sort by Z to A or A to Z, A to Z or Z to A. And then I can get various error code and error messages if it exists within the environment. Now remember, workflow ID, it's again pointing to a different table, right? Now workflow ID is basically the unique identifier of the workflow associated with this run. So if you want to extract the workflow name, then it points to something called as the workflow ID schema. And this is the logical name, this is the schema name, this is the format text. Now this is workflow ID. But if you search for workflow, so there's another column called as a workflow. So let me show you that column as well. So this is that column workflow. Now this is pointing to a separate table. Now that's table, if you want to look, you can see that this is a lookup. It is related to a process table. Now, if you go in the backend, this is the process table. The process table, again, which I showed you at the start, it will list on all the processes within your environment, be it a workflow, be it as an action, be it as a modern flow. So you cannot edit this table. This is table is read only, but then if you want to extract the name, you can extract the name from here. Now, if you have all this infrastructure in place, what you can do, you can navigate to a solution. You can create your own model driven app, which is I have created over here. And I can go ahead and edit this model driven app just by clicking edit, and maybe edit or edit it, new tab. Now here, what I can do is I need to add a custom page. So for that, if you go into the solution over here, I will create a new app and then page. And I can create multiple pages. Now one page for one particular display. Now I can show that page for process. I can show that page for process flow runs. So I can uh, display all this different kind of information. Now once you have this page interface ready over here, just click on this canvas over here. So as you see over here, this canvas, you just click on it, and now here you will see something called as a template. So click on templates, and then from here you can pick up whatever template you want: header and footer, split screen, sidebar, header and gallery. And we want header and table, so I'll just pick header and table. Now the moment you put header and table, you have an option for the header. So in the header you can go ahead and maybe don't show the logo, or maybe don't show the profile picture. So this all will be disabled. Now in the header I can just write in flow runs, and I can go ahead and maybe pick up whatever primary color, secondary color, font color, border color. So all those things I can pick. Now for the style, you can see there are color palettes. So fill, maybe I'll just fill it with this color, or maybe some dark color. I can either select a theme, or maybe I can pick up some value from here. Now this is the color. So let's assume this is the color which we pick. Now, okay, how to extract that, put the table over here. So you can go ahead and click on data, and then from here, once you select data, you just type in flow runs. Click on flow runs, it will establish a connection with your dataverse table. So now the table in Power Apps, or like maybe the page, will connect to the underlying table, which is flow run. And once you connect to that table, now I'm not going to filter anything, I'll just show you a bare minimum out of the box functionality, but there are options for you to configure further, like you can pick and choose fields. Now as you see over here, it does come with name, status, start time, end time, error code, error messages, etc. Now if you want other fields, you can click on fields, and then you have an option to, maybe if you don't want to see, maybe say created on, so you can just select created on, and then maybe you can just remove it. You select modified on, click remove it. And if you want to add an additional field, maybe if you want to show a workflow id, you just type in workflow and then select the workflow id or workflow name. Now workflow id already exists, so I'll click on workflow. And the only problem with this is, like, it will not show you the lookup value. So workflow is a lookup column, so it will not show you that lookup column over here. Now uh, and also if I go to fields, maybe I don't want to see error message, I'll just remove that. And then yeah, this is how it will show the table. Now once everything is set, you can go ahead, click on settings, and then call this as maybe flow run page. You can put whatever description you want, click on close, and then click on save. And then after you save it, you just publish it. So what we have done, we have created a custom page, and that custom page is now uh, added into the system. It is hooked up with a flow run table in the background. And once it is published, you should be able to see the flow run table within your model driven app. But one step still remains. And that step is, once it is published, we will be adding that particular page in the model driven app. So make sure you publish this page correctly, flow run app. And I'll just click over here, publish this version. So once this page is published, you should be able to see that in the model driven app. Now it won't appear immediately. Maybe it may appear after a minute or so. So be patient on that. On the model driven app, the edit page over here, you can go ahead and click on maybe new page and custom page, and then you have this flow run page. So just click over here, click on add, and then that particular page should appear within your model driven app. And there are some steps which you need to follow. Now as this page is ready over here, you need to first click on save and maybe click on publish. It will ask you to continuously sign in, but that's completely fine. You just go ahead and publish this model driven app. Once this model driven app is ready, you should be able to see one more line item over here. So maybe again after 30 seconds or a minute, you should be able to see one more item which will show the flow runs. Now with this, like, why we have done all this thing, it is just for like a person within your organization to view like which flow have succeeded, which flow have failed, what is the status of the flow. Like you can filter out the flow depending on the project or the solution, or depending on any specific application which you have built, and you can filter that over here. And then this table will list down all the flow runs. Now again, you can work on the UI. Now again, this is good in terms of responsiveness, so because we have used the specific template, so this is good from a responsive side as well. And if you just minimize this, you should be able to see all the table content in a different form factor. So that's it, folks. This is how you can basically display flow runs in a model driven app. Thanks for watching.